Alright, BobalosRex here. In today's video, well, lore rant, was mainly brought about because of Hearthstone. And one of the main reasons I want to do this video is to show off some Hearthstone stuff. But, you know, whenever I start thinking about these lore rants, they always get me thinking about other stuff. And y'all know all the theories I have going concurrently, right? Now, if you remember, the area right here has been talked about a lot, not just by me, but by tons of people. And since, like, beta, alpha, right? There's this big emerald thing, emerald dream looking portal here. And when you fly up to it, okay, bada boom. Very interesting, right? Now, the other thing is the crystal. People talk about the crystal. Now, we'll have to see. Is the final thing in the crystal? Is the final thing in the dream? In the root lands? You know, we're now at this point where these questions got to be answered, right? We're one raid away from the end of this expansion, you know. We got Undermine coming out in 2 weeks, alright? We will be in the second raid. We will be 2/3 of the way done. And I will say this. This being here, Blizzard wants you to see this. But, so, at some point, right, we doing something with the crystal. And I think the crystal, in my opinion, right? We're now in my opinion territory. Nightfall is going to be about the crystal. Nightfall is going to set at midnight. I'm going to talk about Nightfall next week after the stuff from Undermine comes out. Because here's the thing. I want y'all to know what's up with Undermine before I start getting more deep into Nightfall, because it hinges on something that happens in Undermine. So, this here though, I think 11.2 is core, world core / root lands. Maybe the root land sets it up. Maybe we do get it in a 0.7. But I know at some point we're going to get the root lands. Like, it's been set up for so long. And this is the only time you can do root lands, right? If Beladar is going to transport us to all over the place, and y'all know I've talked about this before, that area can be done at any time. This has to be done right here. Because we're not coming back. When the War Within is done, I don't see us coming back to Khazalgar. Maybe for, like, side quests. You know, the kind of side quests like, oh yeah, go back to this area. Because we don't go back to areas for main story. Right? Nah. Well, not until midnight, which is going to be interesting. So, now let's get into the main reason. So, this Hearthstone stuff came out. And this is literally the main reason. Like, when you see this, you're going to be like, whoa, look at these. I'm telling you right now. This now. Okay, so we got to talk about this. The Wild Gods returning in Hearthstone. They're not returning in Hearthstone. So this is for the new expansion Into the Emerald Dream. Right? We are going... Well, thankfully, we did go into the Emerald Dream a couple of times already in WoW, but it did not look this cool, okay? So, the main brunt of this video, and I don't know why I dwelled on the roots so bad, but, well, I do know why, because there are opportunities for a Druid patch. Y'all know I've been talking about a Druid patch. This is almost Druid patch 2. Okay? So, Can we... I'm going to come back to the roots at the end of the video now, okay? But remember these roots. Remember, there's opportunity for druid content pretty much whenever, right? We had the Emerald Dream, we had a Mirdrasil patch, and there was some druid stuff, right? But clearly, Hearthstone has been cooking up some mega druid stuff. Here, I want to fix this right now. There we go. That should be better. But yeah, Hearthstone's been cooking up some druid stuff. Now let's get into this. Let's start looking at these. So, this whole Hearthstone expansion is pretty sick. It has Xavius versus Ysera. Basically, it's Val'sharah story. Alright? And then they go into the dream. And they have all the wild gods showing up. And the art they have now dropped for these wild gods makes me wish these were in WoW. So, I wish these were in WoW. I was like, I want a lore rant about how I want these in WoW. So, here it is. Look at this Malorn. So this Malorn, he got an extra leg. We've seen Malorn. I like Malorn. But Nightmare / Dream Alignment Malorn with some extra legs. This would be interesting. This would be interesting. I'd be down if he wants to power up. This look of Asina, though. What does this mean? This starts to make me think Asina made the Ancients, right? Did Asina make the Ancients? I think Asina's like the Ancient. She's like the Wisp wild god. But like, are Ancients Wisps? Because you put the top of the tree on top of her head, she's an Ancient. Straight up. Like, oh, I'm an Ancient. Then we got Cenarius over here rocking some... He got a new look. I would love to see him come back looking like this because of how many times he's been beat up. He should have this many bandages on him. Dude's died twice. No. Maybe even more than that. Grom. Blah. Us in Emerald Nightmare. Boom. Just taking L's, man. This Onara look makes me sad that she doesn't have this look in WoW right now, but also makes me wish when we get... Because here's the thing. Hearthstone gave us, if y'all don't know, the first look at N'Zoth. Long, I mean long, before he actually showed up in WoW, in BFA. Okay? So, I want these ASAP. But, maybe in a 14.0, or maybe during the World Soul Saga, if we get an opportunity for the Wild Gods to turn up, which I think they should, honestly. Some of these Wild Gods should show up. Maybe with the Freya, maybe with the dragons, because they're allied with Ysera. They should be allied with the dragons. Like Onara is allied with the Centaur, which we're going to get into in a little bit. But I really think these Wild Gods can show up during the World Soul Saga, but I'd love to see these show up in this look. Maybe a WoW-fied version, maybe some adjustments. But this would be cool. Look how she's got the totems. It really makes me... I think we really need to rethink what centaurs are and how they interact. Ancient Kalimdor, I think, was very interesting. Onara, she's the shaman wild god. So they are paired up with classes, but I don't think that's the biggest deal, but it is interesting. Asina is a mage. Onara's shaman, which I think is really cool. She looks cool. Agamagan, the nightmare-aligned warlock wild god. So ideally, when they come back, they wouldn't be nightmare-aligned, but maybe the nightmare's corrupting. Maybe we do get an Emerald Nightmare 2, but better. Could be cool. but maybe they wouldn't want to do that. I don't know if people would want them to try again either. But I do think maybe an expansion with the Nightmare and the Emerald Dream would be cool. Like a full expansion could be cool down the line. Or maybe just a more full patch instead of just a zone and what felt like just an offhand raid compared to like Nighthold on in the background. Yeah. But anyways, Agamagan. This looks sick. Which is interesting, this Warlock, because Agamagan, the Quillboard did the whole undead thing. Imagine more of like, instead of this being Fel, it being necromantic magic, you could see Agamagan get brought back as more of like a undead thing. But wait till you see you saw Ursoc over there. But yeah, I think this Agamagan looks cool. And then Ashamain. I think they went really deep with the Ashamain lore, because I was like, what is the deal with this? I was like, what is the deal with this? I must be rusty in my Ashamain lore, and I looked it up. Yeah, so Ashamain was killed with the spear. That's what it looked like, but I was like, okay, so what's the spear? Is this such a big deal? Yeah, so Ashamain was like killing, and then the demon stabbed her, and then she's just like, alright, I'll kill you too. But I'm like, it just makes me sad because I don't want kitties hurt and to see the rogue kitty hurt. But she good. She chilling. She's like, whatever. This is decoration now. The spear broke on me. So I'm cool. But I like this. I think this is cool. And remember, Ashamain's the Night Saber. Because think about this. Remember this. This is always something we all need to remember about the wild gods. They do have a critter associated with them. I mean, that's going to be inherent, but we're like, just, it's always something to think about. Because a lot of time the critter has a sentient race, or like a humanoid race linked to it too. We don't really see deer people. Wait, actually we do. And remember, Maloran and Elune got together and made Cenarius. Hold up. I'm bringing this up again. The lore... Well, Elune got with Aenar too. Elune was getting around. So Elune, supposedly, like, we don't know the mechanics of it. And we don't know if it's, like, legit. But supposedly, Maloran and Elune got together and made Cenarius. And I'm telling you, take this part, put it here, okay. Well, minus this third leg here. And then you're like, okay, so the other half must be Elune. So Elune looks like a night elf. That's what I think. I think that's confirmed. Like, it's gonna come out like, yo, Elune. Like, yeah, I made the trolls look like me. What's up? That's what she did to the trolls. Rude. Okay, let's get to these other... Okay, we talked about Ashamain. We talked about that. There we go. Let's move on to some of these other ones. Omen, right? We just had the Lunar Fair, right? We just had the Lunar Fair. Maybe I would want it next Lunar Festival. Imagine next Lunar Festival, they're like, yo, we updated the Lunar Festival. Omen looks like this, and he drops his amount. Y'all can't tell me. Listen, anyone who watches this, you can't tell me you would not want this as a mount in WoW. Maybe some people would be like, no, it's too brutal. No, this looks sick. This is sick. This would be a sick mount, dude. Omen dropping this. Omen looking like this in WoW. Oh my god. Because if you don't know who Omen is, you know for the Lunar Festival, there's a boss you can summon. I know, it's crazy. They kind of tell you about it, but it's not a big deal compared to every other holiday boss. But you go there, you summon. It's that one dog, double-headed dog model. I'm not even going to bring it up. Because compared to this, it's like, look at here. Hold up. Hold on, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up. Okay, look at this. I would take this as a mount too. And this. Yeah. Yeah, I know what we want. And it being Demon Hunter is kind of cool. And it being Nightmare Line is actually what it is. Now this one made me sad. Tortola again corrupted by the nightmare. Well, not by the nightmare again, but last time Tortola corrupted by the flame. This time corrupted by the nightmare. But you know what's interesting about this? It really shows that Tortola is more of the dragon turtle. At least in this. This looks so dragon turtle. Maybe it's just the horns. Maybe that's what's making it look more like a dragon turtle. Because Tortola is the Loa of tortoises. And then there's Torga in Nazmir, who's the lore of sea turtles. Okay? So there's tortoises and sea turtles. Alright. Next up, look at this. Ursul the Paladin. Or in Tortola's a warrior. That makes sense. But yeah, Ursul the Paladin. This looks sick. Ursul using a staff kind of fits. It uses his model that we've seen. So this is one of the few wild gods. This one kind of too. He looks kind of like his in-game. I would love a more souped up model like this of Tortola. Not corrupted though, like a normal Tortola. But yeah, Ursul is using almost their in-game model. I would love to see this armor update for him. And the beard, I like the beard. But yeah, this looks great. But Goldrin, dude. How cool would it be to see Goldrin like this in-game? For the orcs. I want to see Goldrin be aligned with the orcs. And they're a hunter wild god. Yo, Rexar, Goldrin. Rexar befriending Goldrin. I know Goldrin was friends with Varian, but he's dead. I want to see Goldrin align with the Horde. I think it'd be pretty cool. Goldrin would get along with the Tauren. I think it'd be really cool to see Goldrin show up as a... I mean, they call it a wild god, but I'd love to see the orcs use Loa versus wild god for their druids. Oh my god, I don't know what Tauren used. Do Tauren just use wild god? Or did he... Because trolls use Loa. I think orcs should use Loa. I think Loa is a better... I think the term Loa is like a good... I prefer Loa to Wild God, but it's like Wild God's Loa, they kind of all go together, but Loa includes some extra stuff. It's... For me, it's kind of like a term. It's kind of like a term. It's just so... I'm just nitpicking at this point. But anyways, Ursoc. Nightmare Line Ursoc. Death Knight Wild God. So, we all know the cinematic. I've cried over that cinematic. Ursoc being gone is rough. But we live in WoW, right? Anything can go in WoW. I got a pet called Little Ursoc, so he ain't dead to me. Alright? I spent the money. He's brought back. Like, if enough people bought that pet, he comes back, right? Like, I would love to see him come back aligned with the Shadowlands in a way. Like, the Winter Queen, because of what happened, right? Even though we saw him in the Emerald Dream, but the whole Wild Seed debacle in Ardenweald, and there's another Loa in that category too that I want to see just brought back via the Winter Queen. Because you got to remember, when we fixed the Shadowlands, now they got tons of anima. Could they have just started fixing everything that went wrong? It's like, yo, the Winter Queen's like, oh my god, I got so much anima. Because the only reason it's kind of... Oh, I think that would make sense. You know how Anowin Stab Carestia, and it's like, oh my god, how powerful are they if they just got like that? And I think a lot of the Eternal ones were underpowered because of the anima drought. So maybe when she's powered up again, she could be like, boom, Ursoc, we saved his wild seed, we brought it back. Same thing with a later Loa that I'm going to talk about too. But yeah, I had to show these off. I'd love to see Ursoc brought back. Even if he's a little spooky looking, his brother, look, no matter how spooky looking he is, his brother would be like, brother, I will save you. I'm a paladin. I will help you. We are brothers. So I think this is great. This Hearthstone expansion I think is looking cool, and it had me thinking, can the Wild Gods return? And I do actually think a Druid patch can be put in, maybe this upcoming one, maybe with the Haranir, or maybe we just see some Loa or Wild God. We're gonna find out what they call it. That will be a huge dictator about where on the line they go. Because to be fair, they would have been calling Wild Gods Loa, because they're trolls first, before they transitioned to using a different word, Wild Gods form, as Night Elves. So we'll have to see where the Haranir land on there. And you can see my Haranir video where I go over the possibilities for that. Maybe I'll do a new one when we get some more stuff on them. But yeah, I had to show off these. And then I want to show off more of the art. So credit to Ben Hearthstone, dude. If you want Hearthstone coverage on Twitter or at whatever you want to call it, I don't care. If you're still on that, he just posts all the Hearthstone stuff. It's so good. But let's go over this art. Look at that. That's the signature for Ashamane. So freaking cool. Ashamane, again, using her in-game model for the most part, right? In-game, the updated Legion model, Cenarius basically looking like his updated model. Malorn looking a little funky, but I would love Malorn to get an updated model, for sure. If it not like this. Asina, dude, they should make Asina look like this in game. Okay, Onara, Agamagan, bring Ursoc back, Goldrin. Like, so the main ones I want to see updated are Asina, Onara, Agamagan, Goldrin, Omen. And bring Ursoc back, okay? Because these look good. But yeah, so we got Ashamane. Then we got Aviana. So this was the missing one, right? This is the priest one, Aviana. Oh, wait, hold on. There's another picture here. So she looks cool. I would love to see her model updated. Right now, she is a fancy harpy, but I would love to see her updated like this. She looks so cool here. And how the scales are. Yeah, I think that looks great. And then, look, here's some more pictures of Goldrin. Goldrin looking so good. Look at these little pups. See, this is why I'm like, this is so horde-coded. This isn't a horde symbol, but this is so horde. I want to see the orcs meet Goldrin and become druids. Straight up. Straight the hell up. That can happen. This Goldrin update can happen at any point when we get Orc Heritage, Orc Druids. Let's go. Right? Hopefully, I'm hoping the Haranir, when we get the Haranir, we get the Earthen Druids, we get the Orc Druids, we get the Elf Druids. I want the Druid patch soon. The true one. Okay? Because Guardians of the Dream, to me, was an Emerald Dream patch, but not the true Emerald Dream patch. Maybe what I said at the time was good, and I did enjoy it at the time, but I want more. They gave us like a little sip, but we didn't get the Wild God. We got some cool Wild Gods. Anzu, great guy. Great, well, no, I don't, great they, them. They great. But I wanted more. I wanted more. It was mostly dragons. It was mostly dragons. So I would love to see. I want to see the wild gods pull up. I want to see them pull up. Next up, I know we want to be like, yo, that's a feather mane, right? And it's like, but is it though? Because Hearthstone has shown. Hold on. No, it's like the Silverian. Yeah, no, I had the wrong name. These things, right? Let's pull it up. Could it be these? Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. No, no, they're not. It's not. What are these on the back? See, those aren't leaves. Those are feathers. These are leaves. These are leaves. These are very like. I can see a similarity, but no, they're just different. And these we found in the Shadowlands. So what I'm wondering is maybe like these critters. And maybe these are the Alune Lifelands version of the Night Fae. Maybe we'll find out soon. I don't know. I just know these were new. When I saw these, I was like, what's up with these? But the thing I noticed, this could be a mask, but that seems like his hand, or their hand. But we get this ear. This Night Elfy ear. And it makes me interesting, right? I can't wait to see more cards. And then we got some Tauren cards, some down there. We got this Centaur, which is why I think there's a connection between Centaur, Cenarius. I mean, well, it's almost right there in the name, Cen. But yeah, the Centaur, Cenarius, I think that could just be down to naming, you know. But I do think there's a connection between the Keepers of the Grove, the Keepers of the Forest, and Centaurs. Like, it's obvious to me. But that they don't want to say that's true. But yeah, I wanted to. The main point of this video is to show off all this freaking sick Wild God art. But I did want to talk about some other stuff because I wanted to talk about Loa as well. I'll leave this up in the background, but now we're going to get into kind of how these Wild Gods can return and when Loa can pull up, and I would love to see Loa get the spotlight too in the upcoming patches. So let's get to it. With the Dragon Aspects empowered, will the Guardians of Azeroth return? Alright. Will Life fight alongside Azeroth against the Titans? Will Ysera and the Night Fae Winter Queen return? You know, we've had this connection between Alune and Anar. What else is up with them? Y'all know she also got with Malorn too, but the Winter Queen and Alune, will we see them reconcile and pull up together to fight on the side of Life? Some people think they're going to be the enemies. So for the people that think Life are going to be the enemies, then these would be bosses. Alright? That I'm talking about. So, but yeah, is the Winter Queen going to pull up with her sister? With Ursoc, with Ysera in tow, with Vol'jin. Bwonsamdi's boss was Muzala, but also the Winter Queen, we saw how he was working with her. Could she bring back Damballa, the snake that we just took out for no reason almost? Bring him back. And then, remember in the dungeon in Ardenweald, not the other side, the Mists of Tyr and Scythe. You know the big worm was eating a Loa named Lakali. I'd love to see them. That'd be cool to see that Loa show up. Just be like, what's up? Maybe it's just like an Easter egg, right? Like the Winter Queen pulls up with this ensemble. Main deal is like Ursoc, blah blah blah, and then you just see Lakali there, like, yeah, me too. And then the people that know are like, I know that guy, I know that. I think that'd be cool, because we actually did see the Night Fae pull up in Bellamet, but like just like basic Night Fae. Well, Moonberry was there, mainly basic. I think Moonberry is there, mainly basic Night Fae. Moonberry ain't basic, but the rest were. So if we get a full Emerald Dream, if it's an expansion, then I can wait till, if they do a whole expansion, this could be like a 14, 15, 16.0, and I'll be fine. But like I said, I want to see them just pulling up like Goldrin, like I said, for an Orc Heritage 2.0, or like when we get this Druid patch, the Deep Growth, or the World Core, the Rootlands, whatever you want to call it. So I have Maloran, Cenarius. Okay, so we talked about all these. Okay, we could see, if we see, okay, y'all know my crazy theory about the Haranir being Quillbore. Yo, is there Wild God Agamagan? Do they have a Bat Wild God or Loa? You know, I don't think it's Hirik. Yeah, I don't think it would be Hirik, especially because the type of bat are different. We do see different types of cat Loas. So, a different type of bat Loa down here in the Rootlands, you know, or Wild God. We'll have to see what they call him again. It'll be interesting. But more on them in a second. So, with Loa returning, I think there's key times where we could get some Loa returning. I talked about Orc Heritage 2.0, Darkspear Heritage 2. I want to see Bethic, Shadra, Hakar, Hethys, Harik. We've already got Kevo Yasidi back, Luco. Oh, and Johnny. Johnny was pulled up for the Darkspear, which I think is great. I would like to see Shirvala. I would love to see some of the Gurabashi Loa pull up for the Darkspear, right? I want to see Darkspear Heritage 2.0, the return of Vol'jin, and him pulling some Loa that's like, yo, y'all gonna help our people again, because we need to help Azeroth. And I would love to see all those Loa pull up. Like, a lot of them, I did just run down the names, but a lot of these names are ZG Loa. Maybe we did see Hakar pull up a couple of times. Maybe Hakar ain't gonna be on the good side, but if Hakar teaming up with the Nightmare, or would Hakar finally be like, you know what, I don't actually like the Nightmare? Because in redone ZG, we kind of help Hakar, but then in Shadowlands, I think we fight him again. But yeah, I'd love to see those little pull up. And then I also was like, okay, so we got Midnight Amani. What Loa could we see? All the ZA Loa. Okay, here, I'll actually pull it up in game. All the ZA Loa. Wait, here, let me pull up. It sucks they don't actually show the Loa. They don't even show his serpent's form. Which kind of sucked. But in ZA, they got the fancy forms. So you got Akizan, Nalarek, Janalai, and Halazi. They took the names of the Loa because they were like being Loa incarnate. But I'd love to see the Loa come back. We saw the Loa in a Hearthstone expansion too. So that was cool. We got great... Oh, I'll pull that up. Yeah, dude, Rastakon's Rumble was so great. Will this show the cards? Yes. Dude, Rastakon Rumble is one of the things that I would want brought into WoW as like a whole ass event. Here, we gotta let it load. Can I see the cards? It's just not gonna load, is it? Dude. Oh, here we go. 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 Let's just pull them all up. So we got Halazi, we got Janaline, we got Shirvala. That's Shirvala right there. So Akali the Rhino. This is actually a Drakari Loa. So we'll come back to him. Bwansamdi is Darkspear. We all know Bwansamdi. He's great. He's wonderful. Halazi, the Lynx. Cool Loa. Love to see with this updated form. Maybe even updated from this. Because they were in WoW for a little bit. I think that was in Northrend. Halazi pulled up. Oh, that's the old wiki. This is the new one. Yeah, look at Janalai. I would love to see... Dude, Blood Elf Druids teaming up with Amani and having Janalai as a Loa. Great, wonderful. Then we got Shirvala, the Tiger. So great. So great. And it's a Paladin card in Hearthstone. Darkspear Paladins, Shirvala, let's go. So then in Last Titan Prime Territory for the Drakari, that's where we could see Akali Reborn, Akali 2, because we know Akali got ripped. But we know Loa and Wild Gods return. We already know this. Then there was Harkoa. There was Mamtot, the mammoth. Harkoa was the snow leopard. There's also the Runok. Runok, it was the bear. Then there was Siritis, the snake. Duranja was a wind serpent. And then Quetzalcoatl was also a wind serpent. So maybe we could see some of them pop up. Some of those are very less well known. But some people know them, and I think it'd be cool to bring them back. Then, if we get some Zandalar story, I would love to see the Zandalar Loa again. A lot of them already got really cool models because they're dinosaurs, right? But yeah, Sethralis, you got Akunda, Kimball, Gunk, Torga. Torga's already growing again. I would love to see Torga... Dude, imagine seeing Torga swimming in the water starting to get big again. That would be cool. We got Kragwa. Kragwa's been recovering, according to the one book. Then we got Paku. Grawl. Seeing more of Grawl. Grawl is great. I want to see more of the shark. And then Torkali, the Direhorn. Alright. So, a Zandalar story can just pop up whenever. I would love to see Talanji get more story. Like I said, if we get Orc Heritage 2.0, Goldrin, Darksphere Heritage 2, more of that. I guess we could see more Night Elf story and maybe get these Wild Gods showing up. But that leads me into my next point. So the Haranir, right? If we go to hang out with the Haranir, I do hope they, at one of the 0.5 or 0.7 patch, they expand Druids, give us some more Druid lore. I'm going to be extremely curious, right? What Loa do the Haranir, or Wild God do the Haranir care about? Because we do know one thing. The Haranir, well, Orwayna cares about Azeroth because of the visions she's seen. So according to her, they revere, like, the Earth Mother, Azeroth, whatever they want to call it. I forget what they call it. I literally forget what they call it. But yeah. And then that brings me back to this final point, right? And I'm really going to be dwelling on this. No, hold up. This point first. Could we get Haranir and Orwayna leading us into midnight with the reunification of the elves, and us get Blood Elf, Nightborn, Void Elf, Druids? I think would be great. Then that also took me back to that line, right? The Il'gynoth line, I believe it is, Or maybe it was N'Zoth's line himself, but no, I know where it's come from. The Shadowlands book. In the Shadowlands book, the Dreadlords mention the Vassal of Life and to beware the Eyes of Green. Now, to be fair, that is our enemy talking to their friends to beware the Eyes of Green. But when me, the reader of the book, reads that, I'm like, oh no, I gotta beware the Eyes of Green. The Eyes of Green and the Vassal of Life could be good, I was thinking. Okay, this could be good. And Orwena, the Vassal of Life, maybe, leading us into midnight, us seeing her homeland, us helping her. Maybe this Vassal of Life is going to be maybe the cause. Maybe something she's going to do is going to cause something that she may get blamed for. But I think she's actually... I think even if she is this Vassal of Life and the Eyes of Green to beware, I think she is good. And I would love to see the Haranir with our elf reunification, especially if they are more elfy, that's fine, but if they are more trolly, that's fine, because in my opinion, this elf the scattered tribes of elves, the elves are scattered tribes of trolls, let's be real. But that's enough ranting for today. It's definitely something to think about. Next week, Nightfall. Next week we're talking spoilers for Undermine, because Undermine will be out next week, okay? When Undermine comes out later this week, if you want to watch some of my spoilery videos, you can go back to those. Also, for my regulars, the Transmog Comp is ending soon, but I'll talk more about that tomorrow. But yeah, next week's lore rant will be spoiler for Undermine, because Undermine will be out, and we'll be talking about Nightfall and what I think that could be. I've already kind of talked about it, but I really want to dig deep because of something that we're gonna see happens. Anyways, thank y'all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.